And well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm watching K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So we are here to do our full game preview for the New York Jets versus the Los Angeles Rams, 1 o'clock, MetLife Stadium. I'm sure the fans will be enthusiastic for that one. Be interesting to see how many Rams fans are in the building, actually. The Jets are playing out the string, but the offense has been looking better in the last few weeks. Defense continues to struggle at various times, whether it's penalties, whether it's tackling, having trouble stopping the run, even getting a pass rush as of late. Yeah, defense is just really struggling to keep it together. The Rams, on the other hand, tied for first in the NFC West with the Seattle Seahawks, 8-6 record, winners of 3 straight games. Arizona 1 game behind. So for the Rams, every game at this point probably feels like a playoff game. But it's important to know this. If the Rams do lose this week but beat Arizona and Seattle the last 2 weeks, they win the NFC West, no questions asked. So this could very well be a trap game for them. Well, let's break this matchup down each side of the football, starting when the New York Jets are on offense, going against the Rams defense. Well, the Rams defense is allowing 353 yards per game. That's 25th in the NFL, allowing 24.1 points per game. That's 24th. Very young defense, especially with the loss of Aaron Donald this past offseason. They've been pretty inconsistent, which you would expect with youth. So they actually drafted 2 Utes with their first 2 picks in pass rusher Jaredverse and defensive tackle Bradenfiske. Verse got up to a hot start, 4.5 sacks on the year, 11 tackles for a loss, has 62 pressures on the quarterback. That's 5th in the NFL. And guys like Trey Hendrickson, Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, he looks really, really good. But Verse may be hitting a rookie wall. In his last 5 games, no sacks, no tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits, and all of those were in 1 game against the New Orleans Saints. As for Fiske, he has 6 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss, and 2 forced fumbles. One defensive lineman to watch is Kobe Turner, the defensive tackle. He has 7 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss, 4 passes defended. Now, last week in the win over the 49ers, Turner played a great game. 5 pressures, 2 sacks on just 26 pass rushes. That's a 19.2% pressure rate. So even though Aaron Donald's not there anymore, you got to watch for Kobe Turner if you're the Jets. So the interior offensive line has to contain him. At linebacker, you've got Christian Roseboom, great name for a linebacker, 120 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, 4 passes defended, and an interception. Been raising his game as of late. The Rams are rather vulnerable, though, with the run defense. Okay, they're allowing 135 yards per game. That's 28th in the National Football League. As of right now, with the Jets running backs going against that front 7, Breecehall is considered likely to play, at least more likely to play than Braylon Allen, who has a back injury. I would expect a pretty even dose of Breece and maybe Isaiah Davis in this game. In the secondary, you've got Jalen McCullough and Cam Kitchen, the rookies at safety. They have 7 interceptions between them. And you also have Cam Curl, came over from Washington, very good safety as well. Quarterback's not a whole lot to talk about there at this point. Without Jalen Ramsey, not too many players you would have heard of, but the safeties tend to be the real playmakers in that secondary. All right, so if I'm the Jets, I'm going to throw the ball to, I'm just going to my bread and butter. Rodgers to Adams, Rodgers to Wilson, and make them stop it. You know, I don't know about the Jets running game. It's been very inconsistent, and the offensive line has been better at pass blocking than it has been run blocking. So I want to see Rodgers to Adams, Rodgers to Wilson, and a lot of it. All right, let's do what we always do. Let's flip the script when the New York Jets are on defense going against the LA Rams offense. Well, the LA offense averaging 338 yards per game. That's 13th in the NFL. 22.1 points per game. That's 17th. They have scored 30 points only 2 times this year. Jets have only done it once. Matthew Stafford at quarterback. He is 309 for 466 passing, 3,463 yards, 19 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, been sacked 28 times, so that's 2 per game. He is a player who just seems to get better as the year goes on. Rams have an excellent record in December when he plays for them. KyrenWilliams at running back has 1,121 yards on the ground. That's 4th in the NFL, but it's an average of 4 yards per carry. All right, so he's not getting a lot of yards per rush. It's really he's a compiler as they used to say on WFAN back in the day. 12 touchdowns on the year, but 5 fumbles, so you can pry the ball loose. So I want to see some hard hits from Chuck Clark, from Quincy-Williams, from these hard-hitting players that the Jets have, and that they got to hit that player straight on. Got to hit Williams straight on. If you do that, you might pry the ball loose. So Jamiensherwood, Quincy-Williams, and Chuck Clark. Those are the 3 players I'm watching. Back up, you've got Blake Corum at running back, the rookie, 187 yards for the year, 3.9 yards per attempt. At wide receiver, well, you have the duo of Cooperkupp and Pukanacua. Puka has played only 9 games this year, has 61 catches, 805 yards, just 3 touchdowns. And then for Cooperkupp, well, 63 catches, 657 yards, so a lot less per reception, and 6 touchdowns. Now, of course, against San Francisco, he had no catches, much to the frustration of a lot of fantasy owners. But there are more players to think about than Cooper and Puka. You've got Tutu Atwell, 36 catches on 52 targets, 513 yards. The ex-Kansas City Chief, Demarcus Robinson, he's there. He's got only 28 catches, but 7 of them are touchdowns. So he is a big play receiver that Stafford likes to target. Now, with the Jets secondary, you've got DJ Reed coming back from injury. He has been participating in the walkthroughs. That's the latest news we've seen on him. Michael Carter II, we know, is beat up. He plays 10 to 20 snaps a week. Brandon Eccles didn't play last week. Matthew Stafford could have a big day. If I'm the Rams, I'm spreading the Jets out wide. I want to go 3 receivers, 4 receivers, a lot. Maybe you could put Williams in the backfield, maybe sneak a few runs in there, but try to get, to Qantas Stiggers, to Isaiah Oliver if you can. And this is a pretty big addition for the Rams. Tylerhigbee, the tight end, he's been out all year with an ACL injury, which happened in the Rams wild card game last season against Detroit. He was activated on Tuesday. He will return this weekend. He is 31 years old, but he's also the most productive tight end in Rams history. That's a franchise that goes back to 1937, so that is saying something. And with offensive line, they've had a lot of injuries, but they're starting to get a bit of a rhythm now. Alaric Jackson's their left tackle. Steve Avila, who a lot of Jet fans wanted at the draft not too long ago, is at left guard. Kevin Dodson was signed as a free agent. He plays right guard. One thing with the Rams offense, they get off to slow starts. They're averaging in the first quarter in games this year 1.9 points per game in that first quarter. That's tied for 30th. And we know last week the Jets really struggled out of the chute against Jacksonville and Mac Jones. They cannot do that this week. They cannot fall behind. All right? You want to be in a position to run the ball because that's the weakness of the Rams defense. If the Jets fall behind early by double digits, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of other game notes here as well. Now, with the kicking game, Anders Carlson, 7 for 8 on field goals for the Jets. Now, the Rams kicker is Joshuakarty. He is just 21 for 26 on field goals, also missed 3 extra points. Now, he made 4 of 4 field goals in San Francisco, against San Francisco, but he has struggled for a good portion of the year, so keep that in mind, especially if the wind is humming in the Meadowlands that day. Interesting stat, the Rams are +4 in turnover differential, but they have a negative point differential. They're, I think last I checked, -28 in point differential, despite leading their division. And with penalties, got to look at that because seems every week we talk about the Jets taking dumb penalties. The Jets are the 3rd most penalized team in the NFL, 7.6 penalties per game, although they did have only 1 in the second half last week against Jacksonville. Want to point that out. The Rams are the 2nd least penalized team in the NFL, 5.5 per game. It seems like the Jets are playing all these smart, disciplined teams. Indy, Arizona, all teams in the top 5 in fewest penalties taken. So something to keep in mind. All right, that is your game preview for Jets versus Rams. My bold predictions and score prediction are available on the other video as well. Definitely check that out. And we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. 13 away last I checked. So please share with a friend, and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate everybody's support. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.